And joining us right now on our Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline is the coach of the offensively Jekyll and Hyde Aztecs, Brian Dutcher, with us here on 97.3 The Fan. Dutch, good to have you back on, and congratulations on the win last night.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I didn't sleep for 2 nights after 37 points, but it felt good to put up 80. I slept good last night.
I was gonna say we're happy to give you a platform to take full credit for whatever pregame speech that you must have given the guys after 28% shooting against Boise State, and then back over 50% last night. That was quite the turnaround, Coach. What did you say to motivate the fellas, or did they motivate themselves?
The Boise game was tough. They're a very good defensive team. I think they're a top 20 team defensively. I think we're 3 in the country defensively. So we kind of knew what that was going to be, and I've always preached to the guys, some nights you're going to get open shots. They're just not going to go in. How are we going to win those nights? And then the Boise game is a perfect example of that. We had 2 shots with under a minute to go to kind of win the game. It didn't make anyone, but to have as bad an offensive performance as we had and still have a chance to win a game like that speaks to how hard the guys play. So I guess if you're looking for a silver lining, they buy that message that if they defend hard on the nights where the ball won't go in, they can still win. And we had a chance to win and we didn't. Then we bounced back. We got the fast break going, which is always big. If you have to slug it out in the half court every game, it's hard to put points up. But we had the break going. We had some offensive rebound putbacks, and those extra bonus baskets always make a difference.
Coach, I know no coaches are in the business of excuse making, especially not successful ones like yourself. But the COVID layoff, coming off 2 weeks without a game, then playing a team that had been sharp, that had won 11 in a row, that is so good defensively, that really was kind of a not a great matchup to come off a really long layoff, correct?
I think you're correct in the matchup. To play a really good defensive team like Boise, your first game back after layoff, is a challenge. We have opponents in our league that maybe don't guard at that level and might be an easier game to come back that let you free flow a little bit offensively. But Boise's got length and size. They almost look like an Aztec team where they got 6'7", 6'8" guards, and they're hard to score over. And so coming off break and playing such a good opponent wasn't a good matchup for us. And still, with that being said, I feel as if we should have won the game.
Talking to Coach Brian Dutcher, San Diego State Aztecs men's basketball coach here on Ben and Woods this morning. And, I always kind of, the great teams, Coach, and tell me if you agree, it's a short memory. I mean, you can't change an abysmal night shooting or a tough game when the ball just didn't go your way. Your guys seem to have done really, really good this season at the bounce back, the figuring it out, riding the ship, making adjustments, things like that. Talk about some of your leaders on the team that help with that.
We've been able to do that since Steve Fisher came to the Mesa. It's just a mindset. It's move on to the next game. Don't let this loss cost us another one, and move beyond it. And sometimes it's hard to do because there's so much talk, and everybody likes to talk about it. Oh, my goodness, where are you at the metrics now? You've slid out of the bracket. We're 3 games into the conference season, so it's important as coaches that we don't overreact to every single game, that if we're good enough, we will play our way into the tournament. And if we stumble, it'll be our responsibility that we didn't make it. So we don't get caught up in the everyday, you're on the bubble, you're off the bubble. The media loves it, and fans love it, so it's talked about. But you can't overreact 3 games into your conference schedule. There's still 80% of the season left to be played in the conference.
I know some media would talk about the bubble. I wouldn't do that.
Ben would never prognosticate
stage.
4 months ahead.
No chance I would do that.
Didn't you call this a must-win last night? Coach, he called it on the air a must-win.
Well, I said if they lost, they'd be in 7th place in the Mountain West. No one wants to be in 7th place. So, yeah, it was kind of a must-win. They won, so it doesn't matter. Talking to Brian.
There have been years, my first 2 years, we finished in 4th place in the conference. Yeah. But we got better, and we made the conference championship both games and got one of those.
I had you on the hot seat. I'm sorry about that, but I apologize.
Oh, no.
Responsibility, guys.
So I do want to ask you, though, Matt Bradley, great game last night, 10 of 11 shooting, 27 points. Against Boise State, they put one of their best defenders on him. He had a rough night. USC did the same thing. Are you going to keep seeing that, especially, maybe against a tournament team later? And what can you do to possibly, help Matt out if you face that situation again?
Yeah, you have to realize this is not new to Matt. I mean, he was Cal's best player for 3 years, and so they always had the best defender on him. So maybe we chalk it up to he just had off nights. Maybe he couldn't get the shots he wanted to get. Like yesterday, smaller defenders, he could back them in, shoot over them. But he's got a fall-away jump shot. And even with the Boise game, with under a minute to go, we ran a little play. He stepped up. He was wide open for a three, and he didn't make it. And, of course, he was really crushed after the game, and we had to get him into our mindset. Hey, Matt, we want you to shoot it every time you get that shot. Don't stress about that. You're going to have more of those to come. And so it's all mindset. It's move beyond. Tip your hat to Boise. They did a good job. Tip your hat to USC, who's a top 20 team. They did a good job. But we have to find ways to win those. And as we go on, hopefully as we play together, we haven't had the whole team all year. Now we're all together for the first time. And now we're trying to see what we are.
Coach, I know you can't really play favorites, but who won the dunk contest in the game last night? Was it Lamont or was it Kashad? Because they both were very impressive on those.
I like Lamont's because he dunked over a defender, so I love that one. He rose up, and the guy tried to block it, and he really threw it down. So Keshad's a heck of a dunker, too, but it's fun to see the Aztecs get up and down running where we get dunk opportunities.
Good high percentage shots as well when you can get them off. Now you got to, again, right back at it on the road. I assume flight to Salt Lake City, big drive today. How do you prepare for a quick turnaround game against Utah State tomorrow night?
We try to get as much as we can in one day. We'll show up at the practice facility, the Jam Center, in sweatsuits and walk through some stuff. Head to the airport, drive an hour and a half, get to Logan, head into their gym, their facility at 7 tonight, and go through stuff at a little more pace, and then sit around tomorrow and play a night game. So we've got to get as much done as we can in half a day and get ready to play.
And then you'll have the same situation, or at least similar, because they just announced the makeup game against Nevada is going to be on Sunday, February 6th, I believe. So kind of juggling this schedule and a little unpredictable for you this year, Coach.
Yeah, and we still got 3 more games to make up if they want to get us through a full conference schedule. I don't know if that'll happen, but this is going to be the norm. This is going to be what it's like, these short preps, and we got to see if we're up for that task.
Well, at least they're making up a couple of the home games, get the fans a chance to get back to Viejas Arena, where now, congratulations, 300 wins at Viejas Arena now for the San Diego State Aztecs all-time. Coach Brian Dutcher, I got Utah State tomorrow night. Appreciate your time, Coach. Start scouting. I'm sure you're already doing it, the Aggies. Good luck.
Thanks for having me, guys.